This is my crashed 2005 Volvo S60R that I picked up in the last video for super cheap. I was really excited about this car because it's got a ton of super cool performance parts on it, as well as just some really rare Volvo pieces. This car has a salvage title, it's coming up to 200,000 miles, and it's got damage on pretty much every part of the left side of the car. So in this video, I'm going to be parting it out so I can use a bunch of the cool parts for my own projects and sell on some of the things I don't need to live on in other people's cars. As sad as it is to see such a cool car in this condition, I'm really excited today because I picked this thing up for dirt cheap, and I can't wait to tear it all down and see what kind of parts I get out of it. In the last episode, I briefly kind of went through everything that I thought might be cool on this car, but it's like 1 p.m. right now. I'm just gonna tear into this thing, see how much I can get done today, and see what kind of goodies are actually salvageable from this crashed S60R. Here's proof that cheap wheel locks are a waste of time and money. That's all it takes. Just a regular 17. That's it. I really like the look of these wheels, and I'll be ordering a replacement for the dented one in the front so that I can have a full set to put on one of my projects. After those are off, it's time to start tackling the suspension and the brakes, which are both pretty desirable on this car. The suspension is electronically adjustable, and it's about $2,000 for a set of these shocks. The ones on this car only have about 15,000 miles on them, so I'll absolutely be saving them for one of my projects. The brakes on this car are pretty desirable as well because they're made by Brembo and they're one-piece calipers in the front and rear of the car. These are a super easy bolt-on upgrade to any other Volvo that didn't have these, and they just look really cool as well. Going through this quite quickly, but I removed the brakes from the back and then the Monroe shocks as well. After that's finished up, I drain the transmission, and it's time for one of the most notorious parts of these Volvos, which is removing the angle gear. It's time to get under the car now, and this is where things get really fun. Check this out. That drive shaft is held in by like 5 bolts. One of them is missing. One of them is a completely different bolt altogether. But that has to come out to drop the angle gear. The angle gear's right there. Transmission's right there. That has to come off of that first. Oh my God, that's already loose. Okay, here we go. First angle gear bolt. Did I just righty-tighty that? This angle gear is essentially a front differential that's responsible for sending power to the back wheels of the car, and it's pretty notorious for braking, especially on higher power cars. Now that that's out of the car, I have plenty of access to start working on pulling the turbo. Coil packs all look brand new, honestly. That's kind of cool. I might actually try and reuse those. I chose the wrong day to wear a white shirt, but I'm about to pull this turbo and hopefully it comes out. Oh yeah. Oh, she's heavy. Would it come out the bottom easier? I think it might. Yes. Got this thing out. Oh my God. It's a boy. This K24 Turbo was installed only a week on the car before it was crashed. So it's essentially brand new, and I'm super excited to have this to put on one of my cars in the future. The last time I filmed, I pulled the brakes, suspension, turbo, axles, wheels, and the angle gear out of the car. So those were kind of all the smaller things that needed to be done. I had to take a little break because I had to go do some real work to make some actual money so I can do more of this crap. And today should be a really fun day because I'm gonna pull the engine and transmission out of the car. I think I'm gonna try and do it the same way I did it with the V70, which is out the top, just because I've done it once before. It worked decently well, and I think it should just go even better this time. So let's get right to it because there is a lot to do. First time I did something like this, what I did was I pulled the engine just straight out the top of the car. I did that on the V70 and it worked pretty good. I'm worried that it might be more complicated on the R because there's just so many more parts in here, but I think I'm just gonna give it another shot trying to pull it out the top just because I've done it once before like that. And we'll see if that works. If not, obviously I'll drop it out the bottom, but I think that would be a little bit harder because the whole thing needs to clear the frame of the car. So we'll see what ends up working here, but I'm gonna try taking it out the top first. This intercooler kit, along with all the incredible piping that comes with it, is an amazing upgrade for these cars. Even Volvo admits that their factory intercoolers aren't enough for this car because after the temperature outside gets above 75 degrees, the car actually dials its tune back to protect the engine and lower air intake temperatures. All that's left to do now is remove a bunch of the accessories like the alternator, the power steering, the AC condenser, and then it's time to try and lift out the engine. I've disconnected so much, the engine crane is hanging above the engine, and I think I'm at the point where it's time to just pull it out and see if any wires are still connected. All the engine mounts are disconnected. What's cool about this is you can disconnect the engine mounts, but it will still sit in place. One thing I'm doing differently compared to last time is I shortened the chain quite a bit here on the engine crane, and what that's gonna do is hopefully allow me to move this crane a lot higher without hitting the ceiling of my garage. So let's see how this goes. I need to just connect this side to the mount area over there, and then we'll pull this thing out. Just gonna go slow and steady here and see what happens. It's just some coolant, we'll be all right. Last time I did this, it came out at a little bit of an angle, which I think helped quite a lot to clear the ABS, so I'm gonna try and do that again. Let's see here. Gonna be testing the tensile strength of some of these wires, that's for sure. Already seeing some things that weren't fully disconnected. Knock sensor down here, little wiring bracket down there. Wow, it's a 12, the trickery. This is going a lot better than I thought. I think what's helped is the fact that I didn't need to preserve any of like the wiring or the fuse box, so it's kind of easy to just yank it out as opposed to gently removing it. But we're almost there, I think.
Come on, man. That's too easy.
The engine is out. So much fun to do. This was a lot easier the second time when I kind of knew what I was doing, or at least I knew what I was looking at. I pulled the engine out because somebody is coming to buy it I just want to keep the transmission. A few things I still need to pull. I got to take the shifter cables, that nice beefy sway bar. There's a new AC compressor in there. I wish I could take it, but the fluid is still in there. Getting this beefy sway bar out has actually been one of the harder things on this whole car. There it is. Wow, that was tough. Yesterday somebody came and bought a bunch of parts off of this thing, which was cool. They bought a headlight, control arms, the front bumper, some interior stuff. So it was cool to sell a bunch of this stuff on already. But I've been slacking a little bit. I need to just finish this up because I want to get this shell out of here so I can get started on other projects. So for the rest of this video, you're getting iPhone. I'm going to finish taking this thing apart and then see if I can possibly somehow get this shell out of here. As of right now, I need to remove the shifter cable still. I want to remove that carpet because those are very rare to be intact. I want that mirror because the active stuff in it is still in good condition. Here's all the parts so far that have come off of this: engine, suspension, brakes, turbo, angle gear, wheels, intercooler, IPD control arms, sway bar, manual stuff, and 2 beautiful condition front seats. So many parts. And then obviously including the stuff I sold yesterday. But let me finish this thing up now and try and get it out of here. I was trying to undo the carpet and this giant module comes dropping down. This is where Volvos get scary. Fuck this. I hate this. Oh, it fucking stinks under here. Oh, wow. Ew, ew, ew. What the hell is that smell? Yes. The teardown is complete. I feel like every time I pull these cars apart, I just gain so much more understanding of how they actually work. And I feel like I'm going to be able to apply that to future projects as well. So that in itself was worth it for me too. Now to wrap up the video, let's just see how in the world they're going to pull this thing out of my garage. In some future videos on this YouTube channel, we'll be putting a ton of these parts to work. I have so many cool plans for this channel, and just to give you an idea of what's coming in the next few weeks, I'll be tearing apart the original V70 engine down to the rod bearings to see what those look like. I'll be helping my friend Linus by fixing up his beautiful under 100,000 mile 1998 Jeep XJ.
Why is a fan in though if it's not an airplane?
Oh my god, dude!
And of course, we'll be buying more Volvo project cars. Including maybe the rarest one yet. So if you're not already subscribed, hit that button down below. Let me know what you thought about the video in the comments section. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you soon with another video. Peace.